Manchester United have lost again in the Premier League. The form is going from worse to worse. We were just played against a Tottenham side who, let's be honest, have been absolutely awful this season. They were below us in the table. They were worse than us by way of the squad they have at the moment. And we still managed to lose. We were still pathetic. We were still awful. I want to know your thoughts, though. Before I give you my thoughts, obviously, this is a channel, a community where everyone can have their voices heard. I want you to get in the comment section now. Let me know how you're feeling after that game today. Let me know. I'm really, really interested to know what other Man United fans have to say. So go and do that right now. But I'm trying. You know what? Right? I'm just going to get straight into it because we all want to have a nice Sunday, don't we? We all want to enjoy our day, and we all knew that that was going to be an awful watch, realistically, didn't we? I didn't expect us to win. And that's just how bad we are now. I don't expect us to beat anybody. I was looking at the Premier League fixtures on the show this morning, and I'm genuinely worried about what games we can win between now and the end of the season. And I don't want people to think that this is me being over the top or reactionary or any of these types of things, right? Our next game is next weekend against Everton, away from home. Do we think we're going to beat them? Last Everton United game at Goodison Park? I don't think so. The week after that, you play Ipswich Town at home. I mean, we have to win that game. Then you play Arsenal. Then you play Leicester away from home. I'm not even confident we'll beat Leicester away from home. They nearly took us to extra time in the FA Cup last week. Then Nottingham Forest away. Then Man City. Then Newcastle. Then Bournemouth away. Brentford away. West Ham. Chelsea away and Aston Villa. From the final 10 games of the season, I honestly think we'd be lucky to win 3. And those 3 would be Ipswich at home, Wolves at home, maybe Leicester away. There's more than 10 fixtures. I don't know. Is that 8? Yeah. I mean, so out of 13 fixtures, I think we'll be lucky to win 2. I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. You know, I can sit here and I can blame the players. I can say that they're all not good enough. We already know that. There's nothing really new to say anymore, is there? Onana, awful. Bruno Fernandes felt like he was playing on the other team today. Doesn't suit that CDM role, but there isn't anybody else to play there. Casemiro should have retired a year ago. He's absolutely terrible. Dalot, I don't rate. Dorgu, I thought was okay. I mean, okay. Højlund is like playing with 10 men. He's terrible. And I know people keep being like, oh, we should give him a chance. He doesn't get opportunities. The amount of time the ball got crossed into the box today and Højlund was nowhere near it. The amount of times that Højlund had the chance to hold up the play and push the ball forwards and he loses the ball. Like, he's just not very good. And I know football's a confidence game and I appreciate he's probably low on confidence, but he's not good enough to lead the line for Man United. Let me ask you this. Who would you prefer? Liam Delap, who plays for Ipswich, who are going to get relegated, or Højlund? I would take Liam Delap any day of the week. Who would you take? Tyler Dibbling, who plays for bottom of the table Southampton, or Højlund? I would take Tyler Dibbling any day of the week. Who would you take? Matthias Cunha, who plays for 17th place Wolverhampton Wanderers, or Rasmus Højlund? I would take Matthias Cunha any day of the week. The point I'm making here is you can look through every single team in the Premier League, right? And I honestly don't think there's a single team in the league that Højlund would get into. He's just not good enough. And it is a fact. He's just simply not good enough. Xerxes I thought was all right today. I think he was one of the only players that came away from that game and was half decent. He gave the ball away a few times, but compared to the others, I thought he was actually all right. Garnacho, as always, wasteful, tries to score, doesn't score. Had a shot in the first half, which he should have scored 100%. He skies it. And this is why, you know, in the January window, I was saying that I would sell Garnacho for the right price. I think he's massively overhyped by this fan base. People think he's way better than he is. He is not world class. He's not. And I know that, well, I guess none of our players are world class. But the point I was making in the January window was, if someone wanted to offer £60 million for Garnacho, you'd be stupid not to take it. Like, he's not as good as people make him out to be. Mazraoui, I think, dropped in form massively over the last couple of months. The first half of the season, he was amazing. He just seems average now. Maguire and De Ligt, I didn't really notice today, but I don't know. I think if we're being very, very honest here, that game, it probably should have ended a draw. Like, neither team really deserved to win. We did have chances, but still we're fishing here. Like, did Tottenham deserve to win? No. Did Man United deserve to win? No. I think a draw would have been probably fair, but we lost the game anyway. So, yeah, it's just absolutely miserable, isn't it? Absolutely miserable. And I think there is actually a genuine chance now. And I know people are going to be like, what are you talking about? There is a genuine chance that Man United could get relegated, I think. We're 12 points off the relegation zone. And as I said, when I look through the fixtures, I can't see us beating Everton. I can't see us beating Arsenal. I can't see us beating Nottingham Forest, Man City, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Brentford, West Ham, Chelsea, Aston Villa. Like, from the last 13 games, I honestly can confidently say that I think we might beat Ipswich and maybe beat Leicester away from home. And honestly, that's about it. And that's not even... So I don't really know. And you know, I was putting all of my eggs in the Europa League basket, but we're not going to win the Europa League either with the squad we have. I don't know. Can you blame the manager? I mean, a little bit. The fact that he didn't make any substitutions all game. Like, why was Chido Obi-Martin not brought on sooner? I mean, in all fairness, it was literally a whole squad of youth players. But the thing that I don't understand is, right, you've got this 5 or 6 players have got injured in the last week, right? So the training's clearly intense. They're dropping like flies. And then you've just left your only 11 senior players on the pitch for 90 minutes. What's the likelihood that we wake up tomorrow and we find out that Bruno Fernandes is injured, or Højlund's now injured, or Dallow's now injured? I bet you any money between now and the game on Saturday against Everton, somebody else will get injured. I bet you 1 or 2 players will go out injured. And we'll be sat here saying, why did he not rotate in that game? You know, why did he not bring on Chido Obi-Martin? Why did he not give Kone a bit of game time? Like, why not? Why did they not give Fletcher a bit of game time? What do we have to lose? We were playing terrible. Casemiro looks like he should be in the retirement home. Bring some legs into that midfield. Bring on Kone, see what he can do. Bring on Fletcher, see what he can do. So I am going to criticise Ruben Amorim. I don't understand why he didn't make any substitutions. He brought on Chido Obi-Martin literally in the 90th minute when the game was already lost. I mean, what was the point in that? The game was done at that point. So I'm just frustrated. I'm annoyed. Mankman says we need to win 4 games to stay up. I'm being deadly serious here, right? I honestly don't think we're going to win 4 games before the end of the season. I'm being deadly serious. Like, we can go through it together really, really quickly. I'm going to put the list in the chat. I'm going to pin it. Let's have a look. Is there a way I can get the list and put it in the chat? Let's have a look if I can copy and paste it somehow. Will it be on like the BBC website? Give me a minute, everybody. Remember to keep getting your comments in and let me know how you feel at the moment. Okay, let's have a look. So Manchester United Premier League fixtures. Somebody in the chat saying we only need to win 4 games to stay up. Everton away, lose. All right, so we're gonna my left hand's gonna be losses and my right hand's gonna be wins, and you can follow at home along with me. All right. So Everton away, lose. Ipswich at home, win. Arsenal at home, lose. Leicester City away, I'm gonna say win, just for argument's sake. Nottingham Forest away, lose. Man City away, lose. Newcastle away, lose. Wolves at home, maybe a draw, maybe. So I'll leave that one as 50-50. Bournemouth away, lose. Brentford away, lose. West Ham at home, maybe a draw. Chelsea away, lose. Aston Villa at home, probably lose. So from the remaining fixtures, I think we'll probably win 2 and maybe get 2 or 3 draws. So maybe that will be enough to keep us up. But yeah. Some people in the chat are saying that Ruben Amorim should be sacked. I've said this to you many times before. We've gone through this so many times. I stuck with Erik ten Hag till the end because I said sacking the manager is going to make no difference. And I got absolutely slandered by people saying, why are you backing Ten Hag? Like, we've just seen this same cycle happen over and over again. And I don't think Ruben Amorim's the problem. I think he could have made substitutions earlier on in the game, but I don't think it would have made that much of a difference. I think, as I've said, regardless of who the manager is, we are going to be rubbish. And the only way I think that I can see Man United coming out of this at the moment in the short term is if they go to park the bus and they hit on the counter-attack. But then I say that, you've just got rid of all of our players with pace. Xerxes doesn't have much pace. Højlund doesn't have pace. Garnacho's kind of quick, but not rapid. So the only system that used to work for Manchester United was a back four, a 4-2-3-1, where we would park the bus and hit on the counter-attack, right? Would you agree? Under Ollie, we did it. Under Erik ten Hag, we did it, and we were successful. We were winning lots of games of football by implementing that park the bus, hit on the counter-attack style of football, right? But we can't really do that now because we don't have any legs in the attack. We got rid of Rashford for the right reasons, but he was fast. We got rid of Anthony. He was fast. This is how I feel about the situation, right? If I was Ruben Amorim, I would just walk away from Manchester United now. And that's not me saying that I think he should be sacked. I just think he's a way better manager, and I think he's ruining his career. We are rotten to the core. And I honestly, and this isn't even me joking here, I would be happy if I wake up tomorrow and see that Ruben Amorim's decided to leave Manchester United off his own accord. Not because he's not a good manager, because he's just like, this is ridiculous. We didn't sign any players in the summer. We let Rashford go. We let Anthony go. We let Malacia go. We signed one player. You know, I would be more than happy if he just decided to walk away. And that's not me saying that I want him sacked. I just think for his own career, like Erik ten Hag was the most in-demand manager in Europe. Man City wanted him. Liverpool were talking about him. Bayern Munich wanted him. Where's Erik ten Hag going to go now? There's talk that he might go to PSV in the Dutch league. Erik ten Hag could have gone anywhere. He could have gone Barcelona before he came United. He could have gone Man City. He had so many options. And now he'll be lucky to get a job in the Eredivisie. And I think that Ruben Amorim's going down this same path, to be honest. He was the most hyped, anticipated manager in world football. Man City wanted him as a Pep replacement. He comes to United, and within the space of 4 months, his career is effectively down the drain, realistically. And that's not me being dramatic, and people will say, give him time. I like Ruben Amorim. I think he's a good manager. I'm just saying I don't think he's going to work. I don't think Carlo Ancelotti's going to work. I don't think Pep Guardiola's going to work. I don't think Jurgen Klopp. It doesn't matter who the manager is. So we need to get out of this whole obsession where it's like, sack the manager and everything will be great. We've seen time and time again that we've been in this position and we've said, sack Erik ten Hag, we've gone backwards. Sack Ollie, we won a couple of trophies, but then the fans weren't happy with Erik ten Hag's football. Like, there's no winning. We win trophies and yet the fans are still unhappy. We win trophies and yet fans are still calling for Erik ten Hag to be sacked. I mean, it's doomed. It's absolutely doomed. Adrian says, I think that Ruben Amorim wants to leave. I honestly would be more than happy if... I would be so happy for him. I would be so happy for him if he decided to leave. I think it would be mad. It would be the biggest middle finger to the Glazers and Ineos if we got a news story tomorrow that said Ruben Amorim's not happy, the environment's toxic, he's not got players he wanted, he's not been supported in the transfer market, he's not happy with all the sackings of all the staff, and he's decided to go. I would be so happy. I think it would be such a big statement of intent. But it probably won't happen because obviously money is a massive thing. You know, if he was to be sacked, if we keep losing games and he gets sacked, he'll get like tens of millions of pounds to be sacked, remember? So... Bottom says the only manager that could work for us going forward is Eddie Howe. He's had no signings in 3 windows. I mean, but has he won anything at Newcastle? He's got a better side than we do, and he's won nothing. That's the big thing, right? What would you prefer? Do you want to win games, but not win any trophies? Or win trophies and not win games? Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't have both. I mean, you can have both, but you know what I mean? Like, Eddie Howe's an amazing manager, but will he win trophies at Manchester United? I don't reckon he will. So it all depends. If you want to be a team that are just consistently in the top 4, maybe someone like an Eddie Howe could be a good option, you know? I could see a few people in the chat saying they just need to take a break from it all. I don't blame you. I was talking to my friends before the game started. We were out having a nice day. We went out for a nice lunch, come back to watch a film and stuff. And I said, I've got to watch the Man United game. So I'm sat there on my laptop watching it whilst, they're all watching a film. And I'm just like, why? But you still do it because you love the club. And I said to them, after 10 minutes, we'll probably be 1-0 down and I'll be miserable. And that's what happened. But at the same time, it doesn't affect me like it used to because I just expect it now. Somebody says the best thing that can happen is relegation, the only place where they will discover how to win matches. Maybe. Meglaman says Ten Hag outers, where you at? The Ten Hag outers have gone very, very quiet. And a lot of the Ten Hag outers are like saying they back Ruben Amorim till the end and stuff now. It's just stupid. It's really stupid. We wouldn't be in this position now if Ten Hag stayed. I bet you any money. No way. I reckon we'd probably be in the top 10 if Erik Ten Hag stayed. And I'm not saying that his football was great. It wasn't. It was pretty boring. Park the bus on the counter-attack, but it did work. You know? And now we're trying to do something different again with a trendy manager. And there's a massive gamble with that, isn't there? So, I mean, the only positive I can think at the moment is that we don't have to watch any more of that till next weekend now. There's no midweek games. Although, you know, we lost this week. We lost Lenny Yoro, Mainu. Who else do we lose? Ugarte, Toby Collier, Eriksson, Ahmad. We lost 6 players this week for injury. 6. So how many players do you think are going to be injured now between today and Everton next weekend? I mean, we're still in the FA Cup, but I just don't think we're going to win the FA Cup or the Europa. You know, we have no evidence to suggest we will. Whereas under Ten Hag, the football wasn't great, but we knew that they could grind out painful results by parking the bus. And Ruben Amorim's not going to do that. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. There's no point in me wasting all of my evening moaning, is there? Thank you very much for watching. Let's wait and see what happens over the next couple of days. Somebody in the chat saying they put 20 quid on Man United to get relegated. I mean... Ant says, Kieran, don't backtrack. Ten Hag had to go. It would be no different. The players are the issue. We've known this for a long time. So how do we solve this then? If the players are the issue, what are you suggesting? We get rid of the whole team. We played against a Tottenham team that had Ben Davies in defence. I mean, I did say this before the show. I still think Tottenham's team with all their injuries is better than our team. So I'm not surprised that we lost, in all fairness. You know, like I'd take Bentancur over Casemiro. I'd take Son over Garnacho or Xerxes. I'd take Matthias Tell over Højlund. I'd take Kulusevski over Xerxes or Garnacho. I would take Vicario over Onana. I would take Jed Spence over Dalot. I would probably take Danso, the new centre-back they bought, over Maguire. I would take Maddison probably over... Do you know what I mean? Like, if you did a combined 11 for Manchester United and Tottenham, the team that played today, I would take all of Tottenham's top front three. So I'd take Son, Tel, Kulusevski over our front three. I would take... My midfield would probably be Maddison, Bruno... and Bentancur. My defence would probably be probably Pedro Porro, Danso, De Ligt, and Jed Spence probably. And then my goalkeeper would be Vicario. So if I had to do a combined 11, the only players I'd probably take from Man United that would go into Tottenham's team today would be, I'd put Bruno in over Bergvall, and I'd put De Ligt in over Ben Davies, and that's probably it, genuinely. I take all of their other players, 100%. So, you know, it's easy for us to sit here, and I do agree with you, the players are at fault, but we can't buy a whole starting 11. That's not going to happen. Mazraoui's just been signed. De Ligt's just been signed. Onana was signed 2 years ago for 50 million. Dorgu's just been signed. Garnacho's seems to be staying. Xerxes just been signed. Højlund we paid 72 million for. No one's going to buy him. Bruno's just got a new 350 grand a week contract. Casemiro will probably go. Maguire will go within the next year. Dalot, so if you want to be really, really critical, right, from the team that played today, the only two that are probably going to be got rid of is Maguire and Casemiro because they're old. The rest of them are going to stay. So it's easy for us to say, blame the players, but then they're not going to go anywhere. They're still going to be here. They're on massive contracts. So, you know, I don't really know what to do there. But yeah, I'm going to wrap the video up. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good evening. Try and switch off from the football. It isn't everything. I know it's frustrating. I know it's annoying. But I think once you just almost accept the pain isn't as bad. You know, it doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make the Glazers, what they've done to the club, okay. Like, I'm not saying that by any means. I'm just saying that you have that one game where something switches. For me, it was 2 seasons ago. We lost 4-0 to Brentford away from home, and I was miserable. It ruined my weekend. I was so fed up. And then after that, I was just like, I'm not going to let football do that to me again, because there's more in life than football. You know, you can't let a 90-minute game of people kicking a bag of air around affect your life that much, you know? And I know it does, and I know it's easy to say that, but yeah, you have that switch at some point where now I go into every single game and I think that we're going to lose, because there's nothing that tells me that we're not going to lose. It's not like you're a Man City fan or an Arsenal fan or a Liverpool fan where you're expecting to win games. Those days are long gone. You look at the fixture list and we could literally lose every single one of the fixtures in the Premier League before now and the end of the season. And I would not be surprised. But anyway, bye for now. Don't forget to like the video. Speak later.